Hey guys, this is Vince. I'm here on New Year's Eve with my friend Kyle. Yeah, so we're both going to Fremont to see DeJong. He's another friend of mine, close in Koinonia was the church group that I've constantly been to for these past 2 years. So yeah, we're on our way to Fremont. I know we already talked about this, but how was your break so far?
Oh, mine?
Yes.
Oh, dude, it's been great. Just been hanging out with a lot of friends and just getting to meet new people.
Today we're probably gonna play some basketball and check out some of the sites in Fremont, but DeJong did say that there's nothing to do in Fremont.
We're here.
We're here, okay. Is this his house?
I think so.
Oh, he has a hoop right there. Oh, you got that one in.
Jackery Wang! Making a vlog.
Hey guys, we have DeJong in the background. How are you doing, DeJong?
Pretty good. Just woke up like 40 minutes ago.
You eating sausage? You have sausages?
Huh? No, we had bacon. Turn left.
We're going to Chick-fil-A?
No, not right now.
Oh, not right now.
We're going to Starbucks.
Starbucks. Okay, cool. Hey guys, so we met a couple of friends. Here's DeJong. And then this is DeJong's pretty good friend, I think from high school. Yeah, and then yeah, you guys met from then, and he's also a sophomore. Yeah, but right now we're just waiting for daily devotion.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to describe what that is?
Yeah, so pretty much we just get together over some breakfast or coffee. We study the Word of God, share what we find, and just try to apply it to our own lives, pray for each other. Yeah, that's about it. It's a pretty good time if we manage to wake up, so. Kyle was just laughing.
Cool. That's gonna be on like some senior video where seniors be like, oh, is busy like the Word of God.
What made you guys like convert to Christians? Is it your family conditions?
I think you should start with Jack. His story is pretty different from most people's.
Sure. I need to try to give a concise story. So for me, I grew up in mainland China, even though I was born in Taiwan. And then so there was no I didn't know what Christianity was about. My mom became a Christian in a underground church in China, and then she then first taught me and my brother how to pray.
Yeah.
And then so then we kind of know what Christianity was, and then for when we were little, but we didn't really think too much about it. And then I just thought it was cool. And then after I came to America, there was just a series of events that led me back to church again. First, it was my mom's friend in the church in China, happened to live in Fremont, happened to be our dentist. So she invited us to a church, and we actually didn't go to the church because the people there, it was really different, and we weren't really used to that environment. So then we kind of left church again. And our landlord of the house happened to be an elder at my current church. So then he invited us to the church again, and we're like, okay, we'll give it another shot. So after just kind of being there for a little bit and just really our youth group was really nice. I was really incorporated into a group of people where I could truly see people were loving on one another. Yeah. And I think just that atmosphere was really special because I moved around a lot when I was a kid, and I never saw an environment like that. And then after just really learning about God during youth retreats and talking to my pastor about everything, I realized, yeah, I'm a really simple person, and I realized this group of people is something that I want forever. I want to cherish forever too, and I want to grow closer to God with this group of people. And then eventually, even though I'm not in the church anymore, I can still find Christians elsewhere, find community elsewhere to continue to worship God and everything. So for me, it wasn't really an intellectual decision because I accepted Christ when I was in 8th grade. It was more of emotional reasons because I really felt God's presence. I felt God was real through the people around me and through how the older people were pouring into me and the people my age were supporting each other and helping each other grow.
Okay.
Let's talk about the car ride.
Oh yeah, the car ride too. So
let's put the mic right.
oh, all right. So for car ride, it was that was like leading into my baptism. So our family was still, the rest of my family, my dad, my brother, were still considering. And then in the summer, we were going on a road trip to Oregon, and then we had a really smooth trip. And then on the way back, it was around like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
It was really late, and then we were projected to go home around like 12. And then my dad is someone who we travel a lot, and my dad is someone who needs everything to be like on plan and on track. If anything goes wrong, he gets really upset and nervous, and our whole family like mood just becomes really bad. And then our car starts smoking, like smoke started coming out on the back, and we're like, oh, this is not good. And then lights are popping up in our car, and we stopped. We're like, okay, we need to check. So then we came down, we checked the car. We didn't know how to fix it, and we're like, we shouldn't drive anymore because what if the car just like explode, right? So then we started like waving at people, and we're like hoping that someone would like stop and help us. And then so me and my dad went out. My mom, being the only Christian, but all of us were already going to church. So being the Christian, the only like actual Christian on the car, she was like, all right, let's pray. So my brothers were praying with my mom in the back of the car. My dad and I were outside just trying to get help. And then in 5 minutes, some college dude stopped and came and helped. And he didn't know what to do either, but he was like, okay, well, I'll drive right behind you guys, so then you guys get to the next town safely. And then by the time we got to the next town, it was already like 10. And then that guy, before he left us, he was like, this is the most I could do, but I really hope that you guys get home safely, and like God bless you. And then we could tell he was Christian. He had the cross on his car too. And it was just really cool how my mom was praying on the back, and then someone who was a Christian was suddenly like in front of us. And then we were at the town, right? So at the town, the gas station closed at 10. We got there at like 9:58. So then we were last customer into the gas station. We were like, okay, we have this problem with our car. Can you guys help us? They were like, I don't really know, but I know this is probably something wrong with your oil. So they gave us a bucket of oil, and we're like, okay, we don't know what to do with it. And then some random drunk guy just walked over. He was really old, and then he happened to be the only car technician on the town. And then he was like, I've seen this problem before. So then he put the oil and everything into our car in the right place. He was like, just drive straight and don't stop. And I thought that was pretty cool because like the exact word he said was to like not look back, or like don't stop. And then back then, one of my favorite worship songs was No Turning Back. And I was like, oh, that kind of like resonated with my favorite song lyric at church. And then so then again, like I think me and my parents and my brother were like, this is definitely God's answering our prayer and trying to keep us safe at home. And then I think even though there's a lot of these coincidences that people like call it coincidence, I don't think it's coincidence. I think God was really there helping us. And even if you remove all of that, I think the atmosphere on the car, usually my dad gets really stressed out and then nervous, but none of that was happening. So the atmosphere of our family on the car, we felt like God was with us. Like everyone was really peaceful and calm, even though a lot of like crazy things are going on. And then at the very end, our car just kept on driving. We ran like 2 red lights, and then the car stopped in front of my house. Like my dad didn't press brake or anything, it just stopped. And then the car was never able to like start again, and it had to get towed away. So then that whole like chain of events were just like, there's no way that's pure coincidence. That has to be like God's way of answering to our family's prayer and just really helping our family.
Right.
So I think that was a huge like emotional experience, and like I consider a miracle done by God. So then that further reinforced to our family God's presence in this world.
All right, cool. So we listened to specific instances and where like certain experiences gave rise to that faith and belief. Let's check out some of the evidence that John can talk about. Like if people who are atheists, give them some evidence that God really does exist.
Alright, so in terms of Christianity, it's actually a lot of evidences. For me, my personal story is pretty much the complete opposite of Jack's. I didn't believe in miracles. I didn't believe in faith. Yeah, but I don't know. As I started becoming more humble and just seeing that there are actually people who live out Christian lives, I just realized that they're actually with the more that I learned, I realized there's actually a lot of evidence for a creator, for Christianity as a whole. Most compelling one for me personally was specifically the historical event of the resurrection. So, I mean, for people who are skeptics, it's pretty much already like 100%, or not 100%, but it's pretty much unanimously agreed upon among experts in the field that Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived during the time that the Bible describes. So his entire life, he made this very, very radical claim that he was no ordinary human, but he was actually the Son of God and God himself. So that leaves us with two options: either to accept that claim or reject that claim. There is no middle ground. You can't just say, well, he was something else, because he clearly wasn't. He's either the Son of God or either is complete lunatic who lies, blasphemes. But first of all, based on his character, based on the way he lived his life, it's pretty clear that he wasn't a lunatic. So that left me with the only option to consider. The alternative was that he's actually the Son of God. And as I started looking into his claim, the resurrection especially spoke to me a lot, because surrounding the resurrection, there are these four minimal facts that pretty much the entirety of experts who study that field, believers, non-believers alike, they all agree upon those four minimal facts. And the four minimal facts are, so the first one, that Christ was actually crucified, he died, and he was buried. Second one is that 3 days later, they found the tomb empty. Third fact is that pretty much his believers, they all claimed, around a couple hundred of them, they all claimed to have seen the risen Jesus. The fourth one is that right after the whole events surrounding the resurrection, the church exploded. Pretty much the church just spread like crazy. What's up, Jeff? Yo.
Go ahead and finish this.
Yeah, you can finish it.
Yeah, so I mean, if you think about those four facts, take them into consideration, just purely, like, objectively speaking, logically speaking, you can there's pretty much no coherent argument that addresses all four of those facts. Like, for instance, something that I thought at the time was, or before becoming Christian, was that, okay, maybe it was like a whole scam, like it was a conspiracy. But then the one fact that counters the entire argument is his appearance to his followers, and especially, specifically speaking, his appearance to Apostle Paul, because Apostle Paul was actually persecutor of Christianity. He didn't really, or he went out of his way pretty much to persecute Christians, send them to prison, torture them, things like that. But then Apostle Paul's conversion, based on his testimony, was that the risen Christ appeared to him. So that kind of shuts down the conspiracy, because why would a skeptic who persecutes Christians suddenly join in on this? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that he would suddenly switch his, like, turn around 180 degrees and just become a follower of Christ, having especially given his previous behavior where he boasts about the way he persecuted Christians and things like that. So yeah, like, for me personally, in summary, I think, and for all skeptics and people who are spiritually seeking, the most important evidence you could ever consider is the resurrection. And although there are many other evidences, there are other evidences from literature, from science, that spoke to me personally. But I think if you're looking for somewhere very specific and very insightful, very enriching to begin with, yeah, definitely take a look at the resurrection. Study the facts, study the four minimal facts, try to think of some alternate explanations. But I think in the end, if you're really humble and just looking to understand the event of the resurrection from a very objective and logical standpoint, I think we'll all come to the same conclusion, and that's Christ is that Son of God. Christian theology is the best explanation for the four minimal facts and what went down in the resurrection.
Thank you for that explanation, Dijon. So these facts were actually pivotal to making Dijon kind of convert to that faith and belief. And is there anything that you wanted to add, Kyle?
I can share after our devotion session.
Okay, sounds good.
Or before it closed for a break, he goes every Saturday morning to play ball.
Right now we're walking at Fremont Park.
It's called Lake Elizabeth.
Oh, Lake Elizabeth. Is there any like famous sites around here?
Mission Peak.
Oh, wow, there's a bird right there. Okay, we gotta take it fast in.
I'd step on bird poo at some point.
Bro, Dejan, what do we have here?
We got some insane loads of
That's
bird
a
poo
no-go, Chief.
everywhere.
That's a no-go.
No
That's a
safe.
yes go, Chief.
That's a no-go.
We got
no
green
go.
poop, we got brown poop, we got
No,
black
white
poop. Let's not take a photo, actually.
Alright.
That's what I said.
Oh, dude, here come the birds. There's an indoor court too, but it's closed for some reason. I think for winter break.
Break in.
It's possible.
Hello,
Just
white
smash
beak
glass.
birds.
I'm sure there's an open window somewhere. Oh, it's the one with the little signpost thing, right?
Yep,
People will
yeah.
like dangle on it and they're like, ah, photo, yeah, hi.
So we're at Chick-fil-A right now. I got the Chick-fil-A classic meal. Comes with the fries, the burger, and this one's an add-on basically. It was a peppermint large shake. And you guys got well, Kyle got the same thing as me. And then
Spicy deluxe.
spicy deluxe. Is that what you always get?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Nice, nice. We're at New Park Mall right now. This Tiger Woods character looks exactly like a Wii character. Like a Mii.
like a Wii golf.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
What's your favorite basketball shoe?
My favorite basketball shoe?
Yeah,
It's the classic Hyper Dunks.
Hyper Dunks, and then Kyle.
I like the KD10s.
Okay, okay.
Words to say the words to remember. Now we're here.
There's what? Oh my god, dude. Costco, Chick-fil-A, and now the food court.
The New Year's service at Alameda Fairgrounds.
Oh, you should pick your favorite sunglass and rock them in.
Yeah, just try to set up time with them because the whole time zone. So probably have to talk to them in advance. Yeah. Alright. Nice talking to you. Yeah, nice seeing you. Yep, see ya.